Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we actually have some direction in which Rostermania is finally coming into shape. We actually have some direction as to where we may go in the draft with some different things shaking up. We actually have some money cleared up, and we'll talk about the ways in which some money has miraculously showed up. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Coach Evans. On two. Ready, break. One of the Baltimore Ravens' most dominant defensive linemen, Michael Pierce, has officially announced his retirement from the NFL. A true force in the trenches, Pierce leaves behind a legacy of grit, determination, and powerful play on the field. Pierce first joined the Ravens as an undrafted free agent in 2016, quickly making a name for himself with his strength, ability to disrupt offensive lines, and over the years he became a key piece in Baltimore's defensive unit, earning the respect of his teammates and his opponents alike. But injuries and the wear and tear of the game took their toll, and after battering through multiple setbacks, Pierce has decided to step away from football, prioritizing his health and his future beyond the game.
Yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys for having me, man. After 9 seasons, after much prayer, talking to my family, just going through the grind, man, and just being satisfied where I am. Looking forward to doing other things in life. I just decided to call it a career. So it's been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 9 years. I've had so many people help me along the way. I'd like to thank a few people personally. Obviously, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first and foremost. I would go to my dad, who sacrificed so much for me to even be here, from down to moving high schools down in Mobile so I could play. He believed in me that much. So thankful to my dad for the sacrifice he made for not only myself, but like I said, for our family. Thankful to my wife for her amazing, amazing support. And then we can go down to Ozzie Newsome, who gave me a start out of Sanford, undrafted kid. I guess not a lot of people felt that I could play, but Ozzie and his staff, Coach Joe Cullen was my first D-line coach. They gave me a chance when not many people were willing to take a chance on me. So I'm grateful to them. I'm grateful for Mr. DeCosta for bringing me back.
In his heartfelt announcement, Pierce thanked the Ravens organization, his coaches, his teammates, and of course his fans who supported him throughout his journey. Though his time on the field has come to an end, his impact on the Ravens and the NFL will not be forgotten. Thank you, Michael Pierce, for everything you gave to the game. What are your favorite Michael Pierce moments? Let us know down in the comments below. After their initial free agency moves, which included re-signing Ryan Stanley and adding DeAndre Hopkins, the Baltimore Ravens were up against the salary cap with essentially no room to work with. And according to Russell Street Report, Brian McFarland, the Ravens have restructured the contract of star cornerback Marlon Humphreys, freeing up just over $13.4 million in the 2025 cap space. They also added 2 void years to the end of the contract to help spread out the cap hit. Baltimore reportedly lowered Humphreys' base salary and the roster bonus to the league minimum of $1.255 million, down from the $18 million that it was prior. The team moved the remainder of that money to a bonus. Over the cap now has Humphreys' 2025 cap hit at just around $11.73 million, just over half of what it was last season. Humphrey, 28, had his best season in a very long time in 2024, and possibly the best of his career. The 8-year veteran had 67 total tackles, 15 passes defended, 6 interceptions, including his first NFL pick 6 and 2 forced fumbles. He also allowed a passer rating of just 60.9 when targeted, which is all the more impressive when so many of his teammates struggled throughout the season. Humphrey earned first-team All-Pro honors for the second time in his career, though his time as a slot corner rather than an outside one. He also earned his 4th Pro Bowl selection. With the Ravens re-signing D-Hop, many thought that spelled the end for Ravens special team extraordinaire and do everything Tylan Wallace. Wallace came up clutch anytime he was given an opportunity on special teams as a receiver. He's been the ultimate stay ready so you don't have to get ready person. He does it on offense. He does it on special teams. He does it blocking. So Wallace made enough plays to see value, and they brought him back for another year. So Wallace posted late. Let's run it back, Ravens, and Tylan Wallace, a.k.a. Chris Just Joking's son, is back for another stint with the Baltimore Ravens. Let's run it back 1-6. The Ravens have placed a right of first refusal tender on restricted free agent Darius Washington, leaving them at the risk of losing the ascendant safety over the next month. Washington, a former undrafted rookie who earned the starting safety job and helped right the Ravens defense last season, and did, has until April 18th to sign an offer sheet from another team willing to pay more than the value of the 1-year tender, which is $3.3 million. If Washington signs an offer sheet, the Ravens would have until April 23rd to exercise the right of first refusal and match the offer, which they need to. The Ravens could have placed a second-round tender on Washington, which would have been worth $5.3 million in the 2025 season, and would have compelled a new team to beat the offer and forfeit a second-round compensation pick for signing Washington. The cheaper tender had no similar draft pick compensation. Retaining Washington has been a priority for General Manager DeCosta, who made those plans clear at the team's end-of-season news conference. Now, Darius definitely came in and made plays upon plays upon plays, whether it was the first game he started and got an interception versus Denver, whether it was the passes defended in the next game versus Cincinnati, or it was the big tackles in the play in the game versus Pittsburgh. I think he had 12 tackles that game. He definitely came in and was a big component to definitely changing the defense around and getting them from being the total dumpster fire that the defense was into being a competent defense on the back end of the season. And to close this out, the Marcus Williams saga has finally come to an end. The Baltimore Ravens officially released Marcus Williams on Wednesday night, a move many saw coming months ago. Williams, 28, signed a 5-year, $70 million deal with the Ravens in 2022, making him one of the most expensive free agent signings in franchise history. In his first 2 seasons in Baltimore, it was pretty solid, even though he dealt with injuries. He played good with one arm, but unfortunately he became a liability in year 3. Baltimore's secondary was simply awful. Putrid in the first half of the season, allowing nearly 300 passing yards per game. Williams struggled back there with Eddie Jackson, possibly more than anybody. He allowed 148.8 passer rating when targeted. For comparison, 158 is perfect passer rating. So it's abundantly clear he was part of the problem, and the quarterbacks were taking advantage of it. Following a Week 10 game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Ravens allowed 264 yards and 3 touchdowns to Jamar Chase alone. Williams found himself on the sideline for the remainder of the season. He was initially still active as a reserve, but was a healthy scratch for the final 7 games, including the playoffs. Williams finished his Ravens tenure with 149 total tackles, 18 passes defended, and 5 interceptions. Finally cutting him, the Ravens released him on Wednesday, and it was a little bit more. It was a formality. We knew it was going to happen. They actually reworked his contract in January because they knew this was going to happen. It gave them $9.9 million cap space, but it also going to leave them with some dead cap, and they spaced that out. It's going to be like a post-June 1 cut. They saved $2.1 million on it. They did the best they could do for him and for the team. So the Marcus Williams saga is finally over. I wish him nothing but the best if he gets picked up. And I'm sure he will, because I think Marcus just fell out of favor with the coaches. I don't think he forgot how to play football. It just turned sour real quick for Baltimore, in Baltimore for him. So I wish Marcus the best in his future endeavors. But that's another episode of Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans. Let me know what you think about the plan going forward as far as the team structure and Rostermania. And Rostermania will continue to go forward because we actually have a few more dollars with the restructuring of Marlon's contract. Let me know what you think, the good moves, the bad moves. You think EDC is on the right track? And tell me what you think now is the draft priority. Put it all down in the comments section, and I'll let you know what I think about your comments. Thank you for coming. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.